don't know. My sound
Right.
level's good.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Career Gossip Podcast, episode number 38. Uh, You did hear me correctly, episode number 38. Um, in
Oh my
today's episode,
God.
we will be doing a book review of Invisible Monsters.
Thank God this
And
is my favorite book, like, ever.
yeah, and to reiterate, just in case you didn't hear us, that there is a new format. Once a week, we will be covering topics in the news, politics, LGBTQ plus news, etc. And once a week, we will be doing like we did the week previous, where we covered Cecil being demented. That will be the new
Yeah,
format going forward.
which I think is good. Like, I
Yeah,
think that's a good thing.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna
And so
shit.
yeah,
Shit. Like,
yeah. So
yeah, and I'm having issues with my wisdom tooth, so I am a bit stoned to manage that.
yeah,
So it's going to be a more calm Max than you're probably used to. By the way, quick thing now. Do you know what just happened to me?
what
Ah, someone tried to scam me.
really?
Oh yeah, yeah, in the dumbest way possible as well. Like some cunt has apparently done like an art stealing bot on Twitter and pretends to be a fucking portrait artist.
Right?
And they asked like, "Oh, can I paint your picture and you'll get paid? I have a client. Uh, of course you'll get paid and you'll get tagged." And it's like, yeah, keep your fucking monopoly money, please. I
Yeah,
don't want whatever you can pay me. And stop stealing art. Like the laziest fucking shit as well. You couldn't even steal art. Like you had to program a fucking bot to do it.
yeah,
Jesus Christ. How are you that much of an abject failure? So then I found the artist and contacted them and said like, "Hey, some dickhead is stealing your art."
yeah.
And it was kind of cool art as well.
Yeah. An LGBTQ plus charity um had some massive backlash because they did some artwork, but it was done by AI.
Oh,
And
oh
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
then it's like, seriously,
But
you couldn't, excuse me, you couldn't have commissioned an artist to do
yeah,
some art.
exactly.
Like, come
Like
on.
it's easy. It's not hard.
No,
Jesus
it's
fucking
not.
Christ. Like I'm going to just here's what was said. Uh, this was the and it's from Sandra slash the acrylic painter with the
Okay.
bio. I specialized in customer. I specialized. What do you do now then? I specialized in customer portrait painting from photo. DM me for portraits commission. I love what I do. Yeah, this sounds like a real person, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And yesterday, I saw this today, but yesterday she hit me up and said, "Hi, double heart.
Okay.
Can I use one of your again, photos, Jesus fucking Christ, for an art project I'm working on for a client?" Yeah, doesn't exist. You'll definitely get paid and get credits by tagging you. Would you be interested? Space question mark. And that's I'm sorry, just a pet peeve. Why do people keep making that fucking error? Like the space goes after the question mark. There
Yeah.
is exactly one punctuation mark that has a space before it, and that is the ellipsis. There's a space before and after the ellipsis. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Because something is cut off. My response was, "Hi, double heart," because I'm a sassy little cunt.
Yeah.
Um, I would rather see my entire family die than have a bot steal a work of art and say they painted it in likeness of me. If the lazy cunt who programmed you is reading this, if the talentless hack can even read, considering his fucking brain is clearly fucked to mush, you are not even good enough to commit art theft, so you have to program a bot to do it for you, you sad sack of shit. I will say, though, the artists you stole have all the freedom to do it, because I genuinely like their style. So thank you for throwing them my way, you abject fucking failure. P.S. Don't ask an artist to commit art theft and reprogram, you shitty little robot. And
Yeah,
then I found the artist, because that was easy as shit, and I sent her. It's Kristin Voscott.art, by the way, on Instagram. Doesn't exist on Twitter. Got this and figured you'd like. I sent her the like screenshots of it. Got this and figured you'd like to know some dickhead is stealing you and or your sisters. I think seems like it. Art. You both popped up when I googled it. Sorry to just barge in like this, but I don't like art theft. You make cool shit with paint, and I like your style.
yeah,
And we'll see, like, whether they see it or not. At least I've done like my due
yeah.
diligence. And if we check in on Sandra, the acrylic fucking painter, or Sandra the Wiz, as she's also known, uh, because she's a real fucking person. Oh no, fuck, she. No, this this account has been temporarily um shut down. But yeah, she has like I could see it still, but she has like uh, fo- uh, 3 or 4 videos of art that she did. Like all of them are posted like the exact same fucking minute, and then it's just here's the next tweet before the art comes up. Timers, where would you be without them? Analyst analyst predicts 10 million sales over the iPhone 5 opening weekend. That's in 2012.
Okay, yeah,
Um, Sky introduces fiber optic broadband. Like she didn't do anything for 12 years, and then she started stealing art. Yeah, this sounds like a real person. Of course. Yeah, this sounds completely
yeah,
legitimate. I'm going to let you paint my fucking portrait, you dumb cunt.
yeah, yeah. Art
And Robert's cunt
theft.
too.
Yeah, art theft is massive, especially it's massive in general, but especially for
Yeah.
tattoo artists, like it's a massive
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, it's like that's so fucking stupid. Like if you are,
I
yeah,
honestly considered saying yes, because I want to see whatever the fucking nightmare concoction they would have to dream up. Like, um, but then I really fucking hate art theft. Like
yeah,
I despise that shit. And I um would rather die than do it. Because like I'm not a bad person. Like even if it was like the painting of Dorian Gray, I
yeah,
still wouldn't fucking do it.
exactly. You know, it's like you know, this
And
is
it's nothing I
thi-
want more than immortality. Like
yeah,
I've never gotten the bad side of that story, by the way. Like he gets
no,
to do drugs and fuck people, and he doesn't age and doesn't get hurt by it. Like, yeah, it sounds like a fucking sweet deal to me. Uh, that's
yeah,
literally how I kind of live my life.
yeah, exactly. You know, it's like if if in the future, and it's a big if we decide to rebrand, as in have new podcast cover artwork done, you know,
Yeah,
I would go to a tattoo artist, give them work
yeah,
and pay them. You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I would do it. I wouldn't go to some random Twitter user or saying, "Oh, I can do acrylic." Well, actually, not
yeah,
really, but I can. What I can do is I can take your money, steal from other people. It's like, what you doing? Like AI has its uses in small parts, but don't steal other people's artwork. Like, what are you
yeah.
doing?
AI can't create.
Yeah,
Like that's the important thing to remember. And also, like this wasn't even AI. This was actually stealing someone else's art.
yeah,
Like just downright. Like in the art theft is so fucking easy right now, and he couldn't even do that, lazy cunt.
yeah.
How
It's
fucking
like
bad must you be to suck at art theft?
probably can't even
Like,
draw. Like, like
yeah.
I can't draw I can draw, but I can't draw to the level of tattoo artists or even painters. Like I can't.
Oh no,
So it'd
like,
be yeah. So it'd be like me stealing artwork of let's say Van Gogh and claiming it as my own. Like no. Like how dumb do you
yeah.
think people are? Like really?
I could probably learn how to. Like, I am kind of learning how to draw, but then I got better at it, and it got kind of boring, so I stopped. I don't know how
Yeah.
why that is. How I should really stop showing my feet because I'm going to end up on Wiki feet.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm going to
Uh,
blur those fuckers. You don't get to masturbate to these feet.
no.
None of you listeners.
No.
If you jerk off to my feet, I will fucking kill you. I will show up in
Yeah.
your bedroom and I will stomp you to death.
I
You
will
can
never
jerk off to any other part.
yeah. I will never ever show my feet. Never. I don't even I like I'm I am never barefooted anyway. So, you'll never see my bare feet anyway. So I'm just putting that out there.
I genuinely forget to put socks on before I put on like boots because I'm a fucking idiot. Like, you have no idea how, like, I'm good at the shit that I'm good at, and I'm extremely fucking good at that, and I'm very intelligent and shit. But like the shit that I don't put time and effort into, I'm a fucking wreck. Like, you should see this fucking place. There's like, I don't know why I have so many duvets, but there's like six on the floor, like there in a pile. And for some reason, I have like my Polaroid camera lying in a fucking bucket. There are empty cans of fucking Red Bull and Coke everywhere. And I mean Coca-Cola now, not like you don't buy cocaine in a can, you buy it in a bag. Which also like all of a sudden it just falls. Like, the person I rented my last flat from hit me up and like, hey, about all these empty bags of drugs that you left. I thought I fucking cleaned that place, but apparently I hid them really fucking well.
Yeah,
That's
too
empty. I don't
yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
I'm not a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder. I have no emotional attachment to anything. I could throw out like anything at any time, but I just don't. Like, no. I have a piece of paper here that I should throw out. Yeah, let's just throw it in the fucking air and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
When I shot my short film, and I teared out that book, like the pages were on the fucking floor for months. That's how much of a fucking mess I am. But I'm also like a fucking genius when it comes to like shit that I know.
Yeah.
So I think it balances itself out.
Yeah.
And I have my boyfriend quoted on saying that I am a genius. So that's not me saying it. That's him saying it under threat by me. Uh,
Yeah, it's like,
I have Coke here somewhere, like
but
Coca
yeah, I
Cola.
mean, I think the mole is that you can take away from this is don't steal other people's artwork. If you can't,
Yeah, that was what
if
we were
you
talking
can't,
about.
yeah, if you can't draw, which I know for many people can't, then if then commission artwork that you want done, right? Don't steal
Yeah,
artwork.
like either learn or not, but don't steal
Yeah,
the shit. Like, that's piss poor, and it's really fucking obvious as well. Like,
yeah.
I genuinely don't see how you could get away with it. Sorry.
It's like that's
Sorry.
why it's like there's also a Pinterest is known for that as well for stealing
Yeah,
other people's artwork.
that's a bad place.
Yeah, it is.
But also a really fun place sometimes. Like, Jesus Christ. But then again, I am a fucking chick, and
Yeah. So
sorry. Whatever.
if
I had to take my earphones out because I decided to live in like the fucking 90th 90s, and I have decided to have like a cord on my fucking headphones today, so I had to take them out when I got my bag of shit.
Yeah. So yeah, if if you don't know this, I'm sure there has to be some of you out there who have heard of Chuck Palahniuk. If you haven't, then welcome to this episode because we're gonna do a book review, and hopefully from our book review, that will prompt you to go and buy it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely hope more people would buy
Yeah.
this shit because like it's not for everyone.
No.
Like absolutely not for everyone. But for those who it is for, you're not going to get any better. Like this is peak shit. This is peak Palahniuk, which is really fucking funny because it's his first book.
Yeah. Um.
It's like his second release, but he wrote it and he tried to get it published. And they said, no, this is too shocking and vile, and like everyone is hateable. And then he wrote Fight Club as a fuck you because
Yeah.
um, he knowingly and willfully wrote something that was just as like juvenile and bullshit, vile and like shit um, as possible, just to fuck with the publishers, and they were like, "Oh, we love it." So
Yeah.
like him telling publishers to fuck off is what got him published. When I do it, nah, they just
Yeah.
get mad at me and refuse to read my next script that I send them.
Yeah. So
That is true, by the way. There is a publisher in Sweden who refuses to read my drafts anymore because I put in like a bunch of insults to their boss in just the draft that I sent to them, where I called him
that
like a fat fucked wino. I think like 16 times in the book would be the
yeah.
best translation from Swedish. But like, I hate that person so fucking much, and I have common friends with him, and I know that he got really fucking mad at that.
Oh well, his loss.
Yeah, he's a fat
um.
fucked wino.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't deal with that, like, imagine the shit that a publisher for me would have to deal with.
Yeah. So what I think is,
Yeah,
I think what we'll do
let's do.
is I will read the notes I put down, and then we will get a probably a deeper meaning from Max because obviously
Oh,
Max has read the book like 5 times. So
yeah,
so
like 25 actually.
yeah,
It's
okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but in parts, it's really easy to just go back and read a chapter.
Yeah. So
Uh,
invisible. So
yeah.
for all of you wondering, I have notes on my phone because I have to put it down somewhere because otherwise I'll forget.
I have
So
my phone
Invisible
like right
Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk is a gripping and unconventional novel that delves into themes of identity, beauty, and transformation. The story follows a disfigured former model, Shannon McFarland, who embarks on a bizarre journey of self-discovery after a tragic accident leaves her unrecognizable. Alongside her is Brandy Alexander, a flamboyant and enigmatic character who plays a crucial role in Shannon's transformation. Now, what is important to note here is that Palahniuk's writing style is both chaotic and captivating, filled with unexpected twists and dark humor. The narrative jumps through time, creating a disorienting yet engaging experience that keeps readers on their toes. The novel's exploration of the superficial nature of beauty and the lengths people go to reinvent themselves is both thought-provoking and unsettling. Brandy Alexander is one of the most intriguing characters in Invisible Monsters. She is a transgender woman who exudes confidence, charisma, and a larger-than-life personality. Brandy becomes a mentor and guide to Shannon McFarland, the protagonist, helping her navigate her new identity and the chaotic world she finds herself in. Brandy's character is complex and multifaceted, and one thing to note as well is this book centers on obviously the main protagonist is Brandy, but it doesn't focus on her being trans. That's not the main focus in this book.
No, that's kind of like just to get him off the road trip, actually.
Yeah,
because they do like the road trip during the year as a woman ship.
yeah,
But other than that, it isn't very like. Yeah, I mean it comes up, but it's. I love Brandy Alexander. She's my. She's, I wish there was some illustration of her somewhere because I had this joke back when I first started tweeting, which was I would post the like most vile depiction of even a seemingly trans character imaginable, and just say transition goals. Like I had Norman
yeah,
Bates from Psycho, I had Leatherface, I had for some reason Katrina from fucking My Little Pony. Uh, I had like the weird cat lady who tries to kill the ponies before she gets good. And Katrina was the name that I wanted to be called when I was a kid because I was a shithead who didn't have taste.
yeah.
And then finally, uh, fuck, I really can't do weed. But Katrina, what the fuck was I even talking about?
You were talking about My Little Pony.
Yeah, but like, why did I say Katrina even? What did I say before that? Do you remember?
Something about you wanted to be called Katrina.
Yeah, I genuinely hate myself on drugs. Not drugs, on weed, specifically cannabis. But then again, if I didn't, I would claw my fucking face.
Yeah,
No, but like, Bradley Alexander is fucking goals. Oh yeah, my transition goal tweets. I also put like Buffalo Bill, of course.
yeah,
And if I did have like even a not the Western guy, but the like weird trans hate character from Silence of the Lambs. Um, it puts the lotion in the basket. Uh, Seth Green, when he auditioned for Family Guy, actually read like Chris Griffin's voice is supposed to be a Buffalo Bill voice,
yeah,
which is why he also does the like, "Oh, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me," which I also do every morning in the shower.
yeah,
But Goodbye Horses is such a good song and it's been ruined by two films that just use it for violent things. But yeah, and if Brandy Alexander had even like the slightest bit of depiction, I would so do her as my next transition goals. But if you Google Brandy Alexander, it just shows a fucking hard licking like broad.
yeah. Um,
Sorry for that tangent.
no, it's all right. Um, and so yeah, Brandy's character is complex and multifaceted. She is both a source of wisdom and a symbol of transformation. Her past is shrouded in mystery, and as the story unfolds, readers learn more about her struggles and the lengths she has gone to reinvent herself. Brandy's philosophy on life is encapsulated in her belief that one must destroy their old self to create a new one. A theme that resonates throughout the novel, her flamboyant and unapologetic nature makes her a memorable and influential figure in Shannon's journey. Brandon's Brandy's presence in stories challenges conventional notions of beauty and identity, forcing both the protagonist and the readers to question their perceptions and assumptions. Brandy Alexander's relationship with Shannon McFarland evolves significantly over the course of Invisible Monsters. Initially, Brandy appears as a mentor and savior to Shannon, offering her a new perspective on life and identity after her disfiguring accident. Brandy's confidence and flamboyance provide Shannon with a sense of direction and purpose, helping her to embrace her new reality. As the story progresses, their relationship deepens and becomes more complex. Shannon begins to see Brandy not just as a guide, but as a friend and confidant. They share intimate moments and secrets, and Shannon learns about Brandy's own struggles and transformations. This mutual vulnerability strengthens their bond. Now, obviously, I'm gonna so so their relationship deepens and strengthens like anyone would.
Oh
Now, what
yeah,
I'm gonna do is um so we can skip because I'm sure that Max will probably go
I
over
will
some of
spoil the
these in her.
shit out of this book.
Yeah.
So I think we can hold off on spoilers for now because I will tell you when they come, and like
Yeah.
I will spoil every single part of this book because like that ending.
Yeah. Um. I will. I will cover. So Shannon's transformation in Invisible Monsters closely parallels Brandy's in several profound ways. Now I'll read these and then we'll go to Max, who will fill in what I've left out. So, one, physical transformation. Both characters undergo significant physical changes. Shannon's transformation begins with her disfiguring accident, which forces her to confront a new reality and identity. Similarly, Brandy's transition from male to female involves a complete overhaul of her physical appearance. These changes are not just
Just one
superficial,
operation left.
yeah, but deeply impact their sense of self. Two, rejection of past identities. Shannon and Brandy both reject their past identities to create new ones. Shannon, once a successful model, must let go of her former life and the superficial values it represented. Brandy originally, sane, although that's again, uh, Brandy being trans isn't the focal point in this book. Leaves behind her old life to fully embrace her new identity as a woman. This rejection of the past is a crucial step in their journeys of self-discovery. Um, they go through mentorship and influence. Brandy acts as a mentor to Shannon. This was already mentioned. Philosophical shifts. Both characters experience significant shifts in their worldviews. Shannon learns to see beyond physical beauty as superficial success. Um, Emotional growth. Throughout the novel, Shannon and Brandy both undergo substantial emotional growth. Shannon moves from a place of anger and resentment to acceptance and empowerment. Brandy, despite her confident exterior, reveals her vulnerabilities and past traumas that shape her character. So is that was the transformation. Again, Max will probably cover this in her review because
Oh
obviously she's read the
yeah.
book more times than me. Could I listen to it on audiobook the full 5 hours, which
That
I'm
sounds like a
again,
good way to digest Palahniuk actually,
yeah,
because he is a very like weirdly poetic writer.
yeah,
I'd say, or not weirdly maybe, but like very phonetically focused.
yeah. Challenging traditional notions of beauty in several thought-provoking ways. One, the deconstruction of physical beauty. The novel begins with Shannon McFarland, a former model whose life revolves around her physical appearance. Her disfiguring accident, which we've already mentioned, her to confront a world where her beauty no longer defines her. This shift highlights the superficiality of societal standards of beauty and questions their true value. Transformation and identity. Both Shannon and Brandy undergo significant physical transformations that redefine their identities. Brandy's transition from male to female, Shannon's journey from a model to a disfigured woman, emphasize that beauty is not static but fluid and subjective. Their transformations challenge the idea that beauty is inherent and unchangeable. Inner beauty, self-acceptance. The character's journeys underscore the importance of inner beauty and self-acceptance. As Shannon learns to navigate her new reality, she discovers strengths and qualities that go beyond her physical appearance. Brandy's confidence and charisma, despite her past struggles, illustrate that true beauty comes from self-acceptance and authenticity. I could go on with my review, but I feel that I'm just going to end up saying what Max will probably cover. So
Yeah,
But
we'll
just
have a
know,
discussion. Like,
yeah, but just know that I thoroughly enjoyed listening to this book. It's it's totally chaotic, but that is
that's why I like
Palahniuk's
it.
but that's Palahniuk's writing down to a T. Again, I haven't read any other of his books, just this one. But I like his writing style. I like the
Yeah,
chaoticness. I like the
and like
fact that he
you've
doesn't.
seen Fight Club, right?
Yeah, I've seen the movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
but like you've heard like that is his writing style. Like
yeah,
you probably recognize that in like
yeah,
that those short phrases, those repetitions. He
yeah.
pulls from choruses.
And I also like
Um,
the fact that there is a trans character,
yeah.
but he doesn't focus on that. Yeah,
No, and it's not.
he brings up her past now and again, but that's not the main focus.
But not only does it not focus on it, it also isn't just incidental. Like
No, it's not.
it's an important part of who she is.
Yeah,
It's actually why they even meet in the first place. Oh well, we'll get to that
yeah,
because holy shit,
yeah,
this is a fucking soap opera. But like, um, it's not the most defining trait of her. Her most defining trait is probably like kind of being a piece of shit
yeah,
and like a narcissistic twit.
and also,
Guess why I
her,
like her?
also her resilience.
Yeah,
Despite what she's been
and like
through, she hasn't
pathological
given up.
lying.
Yeah, despite what she's been through, she hasn't given up.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, she is helping her friend Shannon McFarlane overcome her disability of being disfigured. You know, so you have a shining light between Brandy and Shannon, but amongst that, you've also got Brandy trying still overcoming her past. The same with Shannon, but they both
also,
are
I'm really
able to come to.
busting for a piss, so I'm going to run away
Yeah,
and
that's
do
okay.
that, and you
Yeah,
can finish this thought, and then we'll do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh.
Yeah, so when Max comes back, we will continue. Um, Sorry for the quietness, but I hope that you will still stick around to hear this review.
Uh, uh, hi.
Hi.
I thought that would be more graceful than it was. I fucking headbutted the wall and face planted the couch. But that sounds kind of like a metaphor for my life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, so you have a friendship budding from what I gathered from an unlikely place. Um, you have a trans woman still figuring out her past and trying to build a life for herself. You have Brandy, who, despite her disfiguring accident, is trying to rebuild her life, and so they come together. An unlikely pairing come together. One being a mentor, and I'm guessing Brandy, and I'm guessing Shannon is kind of a mentor to Brandy as well. They both support each other.
yeah, she's
And
sort of like a big sister, one might say.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, he does have that feel of a big
Yeah,
sister feel to it.
yeah,
Um, and it's just like, obviously, you have obviously the alienation and isolation part from Shannon. Um, with Brandy, um, she has like a big falling out outbreak with her family due to her being trans or whatever. But it's like it's the main focus I took away from this is like a budding friendship who are on different life paths, trying to figure shit out, and it's just
yeah.
like a budding friendship romance
It's a fairly
with a
hopeless
bit
book.
of chaoticness thrown in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd sign up to that. I fucking love this book. I do. It's one of those things, like I said about Cecil B. Demented. Someone wrote this for me, like Chuck Palahniuk. And by the way, I love the fact that no one seems to know how to pronounce his fucking name, so everyone I know have like a different way to pronounce it.
Yeah,
Uh, I genuinely don't know which is right, which is the correct one. Uh, but it's even more fucked in Swedish, actually. But yeah,
yeah.
you want,
For anyone knowing, it's chalk, and it's not Palahniuk. It's not Palahniuk. It's Palahniuk.
yeah.
Palahniuk.
I
Palahniuk.
think I think as I think I tend to say Palahniuk.
Palahniuk. Palahniuk. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter how. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as even if you don't watch this or listen to this review,
yeah.
just go out and buy it. Or if you have a library next to you and it's in your local library, go to the library, give it a
And
read.
if you want to be really fucking exciting, buy this one, the remake,
Yeah, the
motherfucker.
remix. Yeah,
Which is what I have available because like I saw I was at the I was at the old apartment today again because I was picking up some stuff. Good thing to rent from your best friend. You kind of can just leave everything there for as long as you fucking like. It seems like. But I sort of so I went there and I saw my like not only one of my other copies because for some reason I have like 3 or 4 copies of Invisible Monsters, which is really fucking bizarre. I just like sort of pick them up every now and then. But I also saw the one that I had fucking annotated. I saw the one that I had put like stickers in. Like I did professional fucking work for this last time, and then I looked at it and I thought, nah, I'm not. I was literally there to pick up books. Like I brought home a fucking box of books. It was shit heavy,
yeah,
and I just yeah that book that might be important today.
yeah,
Fuck it. I don't like. I literally thought I really should bring that, and then I didn't. So I have the remix version. That's the one that I got here. It's when I say remix, that's literally what it is.
yeah,
It's as Torren says, Invisible Monsters is non-chronological. But the
yeah,
reason it's non-chronological is because Shock Palahniuk wanted it to be like reading a beauty magazine where you like continue this story on page blah 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 blah, which means that now every chapter ends with this. I'll fuck it. I'll start with the fucking introduction because it starts there. So
Yeah.
this is the Wish Book, a reintroduction to invisible monsters, in which he explains this. And if you think you can skip over this because it's just a fucking prologue, no, because at the end you get, now please jump to chapter 41.
Yeah.
And then you jump to chapter 41, and we'll see if you can. That was. And we'll see if you can figure out where this is in the first book. Where you're supposed to be is some big West Hills wedding reception in a big manor house with flower arrangement and stuffed mushrooms all over the house. If you do not read that fucking prologue, you miss out on the first chapter of the book.
Yep.
Because it never jumps back to here.
Yeah.
And you're not going to remember it. You're
Yep.
going to start at chapter 1, and like this ends with telling you to jump to chapter 1. Yeah, now please jump to chapter 1. And like if you're not a person who reads prologues, which I am because I'm fucking psychotic, I guess, you're going to miss out on the first chapter, and you're never going to read it because you're not going to remember that you didn't read 41. You're
Yeah.
not going to keep a fucking tally of what order you meant. But yeah, I say this as a pro. I think this is good. But yeah, you jump around in the book because he didn't want you to. He wanted this to be for the first release as well. But, and here's why it probably doesn't matter when you listen to it, because the reason he has is that he hated knowing how far he had left of a book, how much he had left of a book until the ending.
Yeah.
And I will also say the fucking epilogue is cut into bits and thrown in there as well. So like there are chapters in there which are epilogue. This one chapter is written in reverse, or like mirror flipped. I don't know why, because it's a fucking cunt. I love it.
Yeah.
So he's having more fun with this, and that's the kind of shit that he wanted to do from the start, but the publisher wouldn't let him. And he, like, the book finishes somewhere in the middle now. Like, you jump back and forth, and it finishes somewhere in the middle, but it's impossible to keep track of how much you have left, which very much fits this story because it jumps around a lot, and you don't really know where everything is. And like, it will jump to a certain scene multiple times. It will jump to a certain spot multiple times. That fucking old farmhouse. Her going home to her parents and like saying weird sexual shit. Like, it comes back to these things all the time. It comes back to her brother having his face exploded and then dying of AIDS, which we'll get to. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of love that you just say outright that her name is Shannon McFarlane, because you don't find that out until like the last chapter or something. Because a part of the Brandy, what is it? It's called Brandy. The Brandy Alexander Witness Reincarnation Program, right?
Yeah.
Because there are actually three people. It's Brandy Alexander, it's Shannon McFarland, or whatever the fuck Brandy Alexander decides to call her at that moment.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Brandy Alexander will literally change their fucking identities on a whim.
Yeah.
But she will always be Brandy Alexander. And then there's Seth, or Manners, or Seth and Manners.
Yeah.
Because this book is kind of about identity. And when I say kind of about identity, I don't mean that in a sort of like LGBT way, even though it
Yeah.
can absolutely be read like that. But like literal fucking identity. Like, who are you? What doesn't the name actually matter? Because we don't get the narrator's name for way into the book. Like,
Yeah.
we get the narrator's name in the same time that we find out that the entire book is a story she has written in blood on a burning wall. Spoiler, by the way, that's a thing, because in the first chapter, Brandy Alexander is lying bleeding out because Shannon's ex-best friend, they've kind of crashed her wedding, and she is burning up and shooting them with a fucking shotgun. And that's where that's where the book starts. Like that's the start, and then we jump back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then at the end we come back, and Brandy Alexander is bleeding out, and she tells Shannon, "Tell me my story. Before I die, I need to hear it. Like, I want to hear that." And we don't know that yet because we haven't found out that yet.
Yeah.
But at some point, we might remember that while we're reading the book and wonder, how the fuck is she telling her story? Like, is she just scribbling that on a fucking chalkboard?
Yeah.
Because in the next chapter, we found out that birds ate her face, and she got her fucking jaw shot off. Because that's the disfigurement. It's a fucking brutal. She doesn't have a
Yeah.
lower half of the face. She's covered in veils for the entire fucking book, and like, she only makes grunt noises and writes on a chalkboard. She doesn't just get disfigured. She gets fuck ugly. She gets like, nobody would fuck that. You know, like that saying, "A face only a mother can love."
Yeah.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
mother would never love that face.
No.
And for some reason, she just never tells her parents either. She
Yeah.
just decides to tell her she's on a very long modeling job overseas, and plans on never coming back. Which is like, yeah, fuck yeah. But like, in a very real sense, the book is about like, who are you? Does a name matter? Does it not? And that, because names will be changed constantly. And this actually leads to one of the book's plot twists, because if you thought Fight Club had a twisty plot, this has a twisty plot. There is a reveal a fucking minute in this one. And what's funny is that because of how it's structured, it's only ever a reveal to the reader, because the characters always have figured it out already. I will come to the big reveal, but like, Seth, we find out eventually, because he's just, for the longest time, he's just some guy who follows along on this journey cross country, who they also feed with like estrogen secretly, which makes him grow tits and get sad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's the kind of pieces of shit we're talking about here. And he turns out to be Shannon's ex-husband, or like ex-fiance, who tried to fucking kill her. Which is something I didn't figure out the first time I read it, by the way. Because it just happens so offhandedly. And that's how the twists are revealed in this one. Because, like, it's not like in that whole bit in Fight Club, the film, where he finds out that he's Tyler Durden. And by the way, in the book, not that big deal either. Like, it's not, his twists aren't really written like twists. It's just written like, oh, this happened. And I like that. I really do. But yeah, we find out that that's her ex-fiance. We find out that he's been cheated on her with, what the fuck is the friend's name? Evie. Evie, who is really weirdly, like, secretly happy that Shannon has gotten her face blown off.
Yep.
Because Brandy is no, not Brandy. Evie is a plus size model, and we also find out why at the end. Because at the end we get another reveal, and suddenly Evie is trans. Like this is the weirdest fucking book, because it's a soap opera.
Yeah.
And that's why it's genius, because it's like, it's written as this constant stream of just reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal. But it's knowingly absurd. And then at the end, we get the final reveal, which is the fucking weirdest thing ever. And the one thing that I couldn't predict, by the way. Because throughout the book, we hear mentions of the narrator's brother.
Mm-hmm.
who was gay and dumb and died of AIDS. And he had a hair can like explode in his face and stuff. Like he didn't. And once he died of AIDS, his parents became inappropriately pro-gay, I would say.
Right.
Like they are like the leaders of P-Flag and shit. Like your gay son dies and now this happens. Like yeah, of course, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
That's some of the funniest bits of the fucking bit. Her explaining felching to a mother at like Thanksgiving dinner. True art, true art.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is felching? Uh, because they are like that. That's what I mean by inappropriate. They will like talk about golden showers and shit.
Yeah.
Which like whether you have a piss kink or not, maybe not at the Thanksgiving table. Like even I think that's a step too far. Like
Yeah. Just a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And like they will like sew these little gay duvets in like in uh in like the rainbow color and stuff.
yeah.
Because this book is vehemently, aggressively, and horribly anti fake ally.
Yeah.
This book fucking hates that. And I don't remember if Chuck Palahniuk is gay, but I'm pretty sure he fucking is. Um,
Let
if
me.
not, because
Why do you? Let me check. Let me see if he is or not. Right. So.
like if even if he isn't, he is because like I've
Yeah.
read like multiple of his books and yeah, uh, like Fight Club isn't that fucking straight either. It's literally about like two boy lovers and the woman who comes between them. But at the very end, we find out that, and that's what why I kind of laughed at that whole saying that it's like a big sister thing, because we find out that Brandy Alexander is a fucking brother.
He came out as gay in 2004.
Cool. I would say that publishing Fight Club would be him coming out as gay, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we found out Brandy Alexander is a fucking brother, her dead gay brother with AIDS, and like when she tells this, when she tells Brandy Alexander this, when she tells her this, sorry, don't know why I misgendered Brandy Alexander. Yeah, yeah, because I said she was a brother. Yeah, that's fine. But like when she tells her this, her only response is, "Yeah, I know. I've always known." And like that's only a reveal for us because Shannon has always known. She's known since she saw Brandy Alexander and saw her brother again.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, my brother is alive. And like this book lies to us constantly, and it's fucking amazing. There's also this wonderful bit
Yeah.
when she
Yeah.
steals a turkey. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just left the hospital and she just has this gaping open wound, and no one will look at her, so she just goes into the supermarket and like takes a turkey and just leaves because everyone ignores her because she's so fucking ugly. She is an invisible monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and genuine fucking masterpiece. This book is also funny as fuck.
Yeah. It is.
Like her
Um.
commentary. Yeah, what were you about to say?
Yeah. I was. If there were two movies that are out. One of them is called, um, and they cover the whole beauty standards.
Yeah.
There's a film called Skincare, and there's a
Okay.
film called The Substance, and
Okay.
they both cover the beauty and how beauty standards affect the whole industry. And I think that will be a perfect segue. If you want either read this book and then see them films, or see them films and then read this book, because you'll understand why. That this book I wouldn't say it heavily focuses on the beauty, but it just highlights
Yeah.
how beauty is
This
viewed.
yeah, this one absolutely heavily focuses on beauty, like also on like beauty standards and like all that shit. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going to read some excerpts now because this is fucking hysterical shit. This is when she sent a speech to the therapist, and she because it's very seldom that you see just pure nonsense written, like
Yeah.
unintelligible nonsense, and like here's because like even authors tend to say shit like I just gargle nonsense or something because we don't want to like just throw in clusters of consonants. So
Yeah.
here's how that is. Jump to just before my jump to just before my bandages come off. When a speech therapist says I should get down on my knees and thank God for leaving my tongue in my head, unharmed. We sit in a cinder block office with half of the room filled by her steel desk between us and the therapist. She teaches me how a ventriloquist makes a dummy talk. You see, the ventriloquist can't let you see his mouth move. He really can't use his lips, so he presses his tongue against the roof of his mouth to make words. Instead of window, the therapist has a poster of a kitten covered in spaghetti above the words. Accentuate the positive. She says that if you can't make a certain sound without using your lips, substitute a similar sound. The therapist says, for instance, use the sound F instead of the sound F. This is, by the way, true how ventriloquists do it. I know this because I taught myself to be a ventriloquist once. The context in which you use the sound will make you understandable. I'd rather be I'd rather be fishing, the therapist says, than go fishing, I write. She writes everything on a blackboard. It just also, by the way, did you notice that she writes only in lowercase?
Yep.
Like me? No, she says. Repeat. My throat is always raw and dry, even after a million liquids through straws all day. The scar tissue is rippled hard and polished around my unharmed tongue. I love that. The therapist says, I'd rather be fishing. I say, Slagerfloss! Slagerfloss! No, not that way, the therapist says. You're not doing it right. I say, sausage go. She says, no, that's not right either. She looks at her watch. I say, you need to practice a lot, but on your own time, she says. Now again. I say, Jorger Froger fish. I sound like the fucking Swedish chef. She says, good, great, see how easy. On my pad, with my pencil, I write, fuck off. And also this bit, um, jump to Brandy Alexander's hands. This always starts with her hands. Brandy Alexander puts a hand out. One of those hairy pig-knuckled hands with veins on her arms crowded and squeezed at the elbow, with the bangled bracelets of every color just by herself. Brandy Alexander is such a shift in the beauty standard that no one thing stands out, not even you. First of all, was fucking brilliant. So, girl, Brandy Alexander says, What'll happen to your face? Birds, I write. Birds, birds ate my face. And I start to laugh. Brandy doesn't laugh. Brandy says, what's that supposed to mean? And I'm still laughing. I was driving on the freeway, I write. And I'm still laughing. Someone shot a 30 caliber bullet from a rifle. The bullet tore my entire jawbone off my face. By the way, spoiler, she did it to her fucking
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
Still laughing. I came to the hospital, I write. I did not die. Laughing. They couldn't put my jaw back because seagulls had eaten it. And I stopped laughing. Girl, your handwriting is terrible, Brandy says. Now tell me what else. And I start to cry. What else, I write, is I have to eat baby food. I can't talk. I have no career, I have no home, my fiance left me, nobody will look at me, all my clothes, my best friend ruined them. I'm still crying. What else? Tell me everything. A boy, I write. A little boy in the supermarket called me a monster. Those burning blueberry eyes looked right at me, the way no eyes have all summer. Your perception is all fucked up, Brandy says. All you can talk about is trash that's already happened. She says, you can't base your life on past or the present. Brandy says, you have to tell me about your future. I'm going to skip forward now. And this is the end of the chapter. Now, those plumbago lips say, you're going to tell me your story like you just did. Write it all down. Tell that story over and over. Tell me your sad-ass story all night. That brandy, that brandy queen points a long, bony finger at me. When you understand, Brandy says, that what you're telling is just a story. It isn't happening anymore. When you realize the story you're telling is just words, then you can just crumble it up and throw your past in the trash can, Brandy says. Then we'll figure out who you're going to be. Now, please jump to chapter 2. This has the dumbest fucking sections, followed by pure fucking brilliant profundity.
Yeah.
And it's like on the same page. Like her laughing at birds eating her face and her fucking starting to, yeah, it's brilliant. It's genuinely one of the only books I've ever seen to balance comedy and comedy and like, well, not even balance it. It takes comedy seriously. Comedy is
Yeah.
serious shit. Like the comedy is the point. And it's so fucking funny. And also, the like, flash, give me, flash, give me. Like, there's a chorus, there are arc words that repeat. And because she's a model, one of those are flash, give me whatever. And then eventually, of course, flash, give me a break. And like everything goes back to that fucking photographer. That fucking photographer in her head. Because she is completely obsessed. Not only with, like, she's obsessed with herself. But not only that, she's obsessed with. She's not obsessed with herself. She's obsessed with other people's idea of herself.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, I think the Brandy Alexander witness reincarnation program actually works, because it gives her so many identities she can't have a perception of that.
Yeah.
Like, she has no idea how Brandy Alexander sees her, which gives her a fucking panic attack. Like, all the time. She's bordering on a panic attack throughout this book because she has no clue about how Brandy Alexander sees her. And that's awesome, because Brandy Alexander loves her unconditionally. My point is, unless the meter is running and some photographer is yelling, "Give me empathy," then the flash of the strobe. Give me sympathy, flash. Give me brutal honesty, flash. Don't let me die here on this floor, Brandy says, and her big hands clutch at me. My hair, she says. My hair will be flat in the back. Fucking amazing. The rifle stops spinning, points at nobody. Yeah, the rifle is just spinning there, yeah. Okay, and then it's I'm here eating smoke just to document Brandy Alexander's moment. Give me attention, flash. Give me adoration, flash. Give me a break, flash. I'm kind of envious that you got to listen to this because it's genuine, like, it's written like poetry.
Yeah, it is.
And like Jacques Palahniuk always writes like that. My boyfriend has this weird thing where he's trying to read every single book that I own. And Jacques Palahniuk doesn't believe that you should ever go more than 1.5 years without a published book, which means that he has a lot of published books, and I kind of own a lot of them. Because I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
And even the bad ones, because he, like, between 2012 and 2020, he just wrote shit.
Yeah.
But he's coming back now. He released some really fucking good book a few years back.
Yeah. Like I say,
But
this was my first foray, if you will, into Chuck Palahniuk.
yeah, he also
And
wrote a coloring book, uh, which I own. It's
yeah,
called Legacy and it's beautiful. It's a fucking coloring book with a story about a plant that makes people immortal. Genuinely fantastic. But yeah, Invisible Monsters is his best book according to me. Like, it's kind of shame to start with it. I'm going to recommend Diary as well. Diary is a fucking wild ride. Uh, but like, this is an ugly book,
yeah,
and with purpose. Like, because it's supposed to be ugly. And that's like what I said about Cecil B. Demented. This is a book that doesn't care to cater to the mainstream, which I like. Because I think that queerness is weirdness and it should be that way. That's kind of that's one thing that I like about the term queer. Uh,
yeah.
but, and these are weird and ugly people, and there is no salvation.
It isn't.
But it's still a really happy ending. It's one of the happiest endings I've read ever. And what I think, genuinely, what I think that this is about is that identity is irrelevant.
Yeah, they are.
And not in a sense of like, identity is irrelevant, like who you are, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
It, it genuinely doesn't matter because you can just change it. You can decide to not be that. And like,
yeah,
I've read people, say that Brandy Alexander becoming a woman because she wants to destroy every facet of herself is kind of weird and problematic. And yeah, of course it fucking is weird and problematic. This book is weird and problematic. It
yeah.
should be that way. And also, fuck you, because there is not a single point in this book that Brandy Alexander is misgendered.
No, there
Uh,
isn't.
she is always Brandy Alexander, except when she's the gay brother, but that's like she wasn't Brandy Alexander then. From the point that she is Brandy Alexander, she is always Brandy Alexander. She also lives with three drag queens, which are like the Rhea sister, and it's like a gonorrhea joke.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I remember Gono, but I don't remember the other two. But it's
yeah,
fucking weird and disturbing. And like they are the ones to give him the like, uh, because that's when he first starts thinking about truly destroying himself, and they like help him become her. And it's her, Brandy Alexander destroying herself isn't a bad thing, you fucking morons who complain about that. Because the whole point is that you need to destroy your own identity sometimes. Fucking hell. Also, nice way to score drugs.
yeah,
They go
yeah.
to like open houses and just steal drugs and pretend to be like interested. This is my favorite portrayal of a trans character of all time.
Yeah.
Because it's integral to a character, but it isn't the the only thing. It isn't the main focus. It's just
Exactly.
extremely important to her.
Yeah, and I think that's one of, and I think that's one of many important takeaways that you can take, that you can literally take away from reading this book or listening to this book, is
Yeah,
that again, right from the day you spot from right from the day we start,
yeah,
her being trans isn't the focal point. Yes, it's a part of her identity, but that's not the main focus. There's other
yeah,
things going on around her that becomes the main focus. She just happens to be trans in a world that she's trying to navigate. And yeah, I just love it. It's like I'm gonna re-listen to it again.
yeah.
So
That's cool. it is. I mean, it's I always have a copy in my fucking bag,
Yeah,
and that's like I always have a bunch of like books in my bag because I'm a weird person who reads like 8 books at a time. But this is one of the books that I pretty much always carry with me, and like
yeah,
because I don't know, I guess it's very important to me. I also did kind of like just write an entire book that is a massive rip off of it when I was younger.
yeah,
Except they are even worse character because it's my one straight out comedy that I have ever written, and it's about four people in a poly relationship who decides to start producing snuff. Speaking of which, by the way, in our Cecil B. Demented episode, I say that Herschel Gordon Lewis is the godfather of snuff. I meant splatter. I'm a fucking moron. Those are two very, very different genres. He did not invent the snuff film, he invented the splatter film. I'm very, very sorry, Herschel Gordon Lewis. I love you. You did
yeah.
not kill anyone that I know.
No,
And you're also dead, so I don't know.
yeah,
You can't
yeah,
slander the dead, I think.
yeah.
And
Also,
Abraham Lincoln was a piece of shit.
yeah, he was. Chuck Palahniuk has a new book coming out on October 8th.
Oh,
It's called Shock Induction.
oh, right, nice. I'm
Um,
gonna Adjustment Day. I will say is one of his most complicated works, and I still don't fucking know what the point was, but I did like it a lot.
yeah,
I think he's kind of saying "fuck you" to people who like Fight Club too much in the way that like they believe Tyler Durden was the good guy.
yeah.
He also wrote
Um,
like he also wrote Fight Club 2 as a comic, and then spoiler warning, Fight Club 2 ends with Tyler Durden killing Chuck Palahniuk and then destroying the world. Like it's the
yeah,
weirdest fucking ending ever. And then like a bunch of people shout at him.
yeah. Absolutely. It's like, I mean, we could probably, keep talking about invisible monsters for probably 2 hours plus.
I'm
But
stoned. It's literally the only thing I can do.
yeah, but I think we've given you the folks that listen to us on a regular basis. We appreciate all of you, even the haters that hate watch us. Um, I hope that we that I hope that even the what we've said has intrigued you enough to go ahead and buy a copy because
Yeah.
you will not regret your decision because it is a wild ride from
It,
the first chapter to the end.
it
It
is also like it is also kind of like the true treasure where the friends we met along the way. The book. Like,
yeah yeah and I mean I'm definitely gonna purchase more of his books. I might I'll eventually
you
I'll
should.
eventually buy I'll eventually buy a new one that will come out in probably in another like 7 weeks time. But I'm gonna check out more of his stuff for definite.
Yeah, Diary is a big recommendation for me, and also Lullaby and fuck, I have another one. Survivor is good, but Diary is like that's the closest he's ever gotten to this again. I'm going to say that Fight Club, the book, is actually kind of not good. I don't like it at all. I
Yeah,
love the film, but I really don't fucking like the book.
yeah.
Uh,
I read um the only book film I think I read Stephen King's It, which is like
yeah,
800 pages. Actually, no, it wasn't. I think it was a
no,
thousand. I think it was 1,000 pages. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. I
it's a
don't know
big
how
one.
the
It's a big one.
yeah. I don't know how the
It's
fuck
also
how
like
many.
kind of a part of the Dark Tower series.
Yeah, I don't seriously. I don't know how the fuck how many I managed to read all of it because me with dyslexia, like But hey, I did
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's a good call.
Um,
Like, it's a
and
good book though.
yeah,
I like
and I
it.
watched it, and I've
I
seen.
I I kind of love the fucking weird gangbang scene as well because it's so
Yeah,
fucking out of the blue.
yeah,
I love the fact that it comes on you, whenever they talk about making a It film
yeah.
or when they were making it, all the time like, will it have that scene? No, of course not. They're not going to
No,
show us 12-year-olds fucking each other. They're not going
no.
to show Beverly getting a fucking train ran on her. Jesus fucking Christ. She
Yeah.
takes so much dick in that book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Um.
and then he makes a weird comment about like, I think it's the writer that has like a weirdly big dick. Which is like, Steve, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I love that it's in there because that's one of those things that like, I love whenever an author writes something that only they can write.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
nobody else would put that shit in that book,
No.
and it needs to be there so bad. And like, no, it's not pointless at all. It's necessary, and I don't know why, but it fucking is, and it's funny as shit.
It
I
is.
will defend that fucking gangbang to my dying
Yeah.
breath. I don't care that it's well.
Yeah. It's like I've seen it and it chapter two, the film, and it's like they're good. I want to say they are brilliant in any way, but they're good. Um,
Uh, I liked it chapter one. It chapter two genuinely just felt like a haunt with a prolonged. There was so many like moments where it felt like I was on a ghost train.
yeah,
Like it,
that's how I
it was
felt as
just
well.
books like the first one felt like a film. The second one felt like a fucking attraction.
Yeah,
But then
that was
again, I
my
got to look
takeaway.
at
Yeah,
James McAvoy, which is, by the way, the only reason I'm seeing that fucking Speak No Evil remake
yeah,
because I want to fuck James McAvoy so
yeah.
badly. Jesus Christ,
Um,
I'm going to see him in the speedo.
but generally, I don't really. If I've heard of a book and it's been turned into a film, I
Mm.
generally stay away from the book version because, like, or vice versa, because, like, but I don't know. There's something about it, like the book of a Fight Club. Like for
I,
me, like I don't think I'm gonna necessarily get more information from that book because it's gonna be
We're gonna get
different.
worse information. In fact, I mean,
Yeah,
it's a really short book as well. Like
yeah,
it, I would say that it's actually shorter than the film technically. Like in
yeah,
stuff that happens, like the film, it, it builds on it.
yeah,
I really don't fucking like that book, but other than that, like, it's a
yeah.
good author.
But like,
I like that.
yeah. So that was our review of Chunk Panic Invisible Monsters. Um, we could have gone on for another hour, another 2 hours, really diving deep. But we
I've
thought we'd
forgotten
give
whatever
you
I
this,
fucking said, so I could go on forever.
yeah, yeah. But I think giving you this little bit of a curated version will hopefully pique your interest in buying a copy. Or if you've got a local library near you and this happens to be in there and you've
And
got a library
genuinely, like,
card, just go in and rent it for a day or
yeah,
a week.
and like me spoiling it doesn't matter because the book cares.
Yeah,
It's the least care. It's the least care I've ever seen put into plot twists in a fucking literature, and I love it.
yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, this happens, and yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Also, like,
again, yeah, and
brilliant love-hate relationship with the parents.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And again, as Matt said from the start, this book isn't for everyone.
Oh
So
yeah.
do bear that in
And if
mind.
you don't like it, I mean, if it's not for you, I think you will fucking hate it.
Yeah,
Like because he has such a particular writing style, and like if you
yeah,
don't get the prose, you will throw it in the fucking wall. If you don't like the characters, I think you. I mean, if you don't like them, and if you find them, I think if you find them annoying, that will hurt it. Like you, if it's not for you, I think it's really not for you. But it is. If it is for you, there's nothing better.
yeah. And
And
be
that's the kind
prepared.
of books that I like anyway. So
Yeah,
like,
and if you do
uh,
read the book, be prepared to go to be prepared to be in a being for a wild ride. That's what I'm gonna
yeah.
say. So
By the way, they've been threatening about making a movie for ages, and I don't know how the fuck they would ever do that. Because how the fuck I want them to make a Netflix miniseries, but in the structure of the fucking remix, when it ends with like now jump to episode 12.
yeah,
That would be fucking bravery, and I don't mean like I mean in the middle of a fucking episode.
yeah,
Now jump back to episode 2. That's what I want. That's the shit I want. That's what I would do. But then again, I guess that's why I don't get my ideas proven.
maybe, maybe. But does that
Which
mean
shit.
I would love for it to I would love for it to become a series one day, but we will never know.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will do that. Um, I'd love for them to do a film, although, but anyway,
Oh yeah, yeah. I would love to see what it did. Like, but then again,
yeah,
even Choke turned into a fucking piece of shit. So I don't know. I think
yeah,
Palahniuk is only filmable by David Fincher.
yeah. But who knows? But until that
Yeah,
moment happens, you can always read his books, starting with this one if it's your first time hearing about Chuck Palahniuk.
yeah. And
I
if you
don't
if
know
you want to go
how.
get a taste, if
Yeah,
you want a taste of him without like going, uh, check out the story Guts. It's really short, but do not listen to him at the beginning because people have fainted from holding their breath. It says you this will be over in the time it'll take you to hold your breath, and then people will people in readings will hold their breath. But like, please don't fucking do that
yeah,
because yeah, every time he reads that aloud, apparently people faint because of that. But which is a fun little fact. But it's read that story, and if you get it, if you like it, if you enjoy that, if you think it's funny, and like the grossness isn't too, uh, then yeah, you're going to love this. If you think it's off-putting and annoying, yeah, you're going to fucking hate the book.
yeah. But I
It's
hope
a
that
bi. It's about
yeah,
sex.
yeah. But I hope that you will be open-minded enough to at least give it a go and at least read it. If it's
Yeah.
not for you, then fair enough. It's not for you. But I also think you should be at least open-minded to reading it. That's just my takeaway. Because the thing is, right, whether you like this book or not, it's gonna grip you in no matter what.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna grab you by you know what and take you for a wild ride, whether you like it or not.
And like, if you get annoyed by a certain place, it will jump
Yeah,
constantly. And pretty much every new like chapter
yeah,
starts with jump to, and like short chapters and chapters. I
yeah.
just realized that I am fucking recording, so why am I lying like this?
Who
I'm a
cares?
fucking idiot. Yeah.
But yeah,
Fan service, motherfucker.
yeah, so yeah, that will be it for tonight's episode. Next week we will be covering the usual nonsense
Yeah.
that has happened. I will go over uh, some stupid idiots who can't seem to grasp the basic a basic fucking conversation. on next
Oh
week's
yeah.
episode.
Right.
And then obviously the week after that, we will be reviewing another one, another book or another film or whatever we decide to cover. Um,
Yeah.
Talking of book, and I don't know if you're able to get a copy. Um, I've been wanting to do it for a while, but since we have this new format, we might as well.
Yeah.
Um,
What
I want to
fucking
re
nightmare are you going to concoct now?
I want to review. I want to review All in London's book, Gender
Oh yeah.
Madness.
Yeah. Let's do
Um,
it. Fuck it. I'm
so
going to be
yeah,
able to get a copy of that one. Yeah.
yeah. So
Uh.
oh, because obviously that way then, because it will take us like basically 2 weeks to read it. So yeah, because obviously I'm gonna get it on Audible, so I can listen to it, and then we'll just tell, and then we'll give it a fair reading listen, and then we'll either it depends. Well, you have to wait and see. It depends what version of Max you're gonna get. Are you gonna get the colored Max, or or are you gonna get
Jesus.
the version of Max where she completely rips into it? Who knows?
I might literally rip it apart. Like
Yeah,
I've done that before. That's the whole point of my film.
yeah,
But like, I'm going to say this. I was about to say that I'm going to steal it, and if like I don't know from a library or something, no, but I'm going to download it, and if I think that it's terrible, I will buy it, and then I will set fire to it, and I will film it.
yeah. So if you want to find out which version of Max you're gonna get, then you don't want to miss it.
Yeah. Will you get stoned kind of chill person, or will you get coked out fucking weirdo nonsense person?
Exactly.
Maybe I should be maybe I should be high more often on this fucking podcast.
Maybe.
I've been really fucking good behavior today. I have barely. Okay, I was about to say I've barely sworn, but I think I've done that like every fucking time I've talked. But
Yeah.
like, that's yeah. I
Yeah.
barely said cunt.
Yeah. So yeah, that will be our other book review in 2 weeks' time. Um,
Yeah, fuck yeah, this will be fun.
and so yeah, because I do have it in hardback, but I'm gonna get it on Audible because
I'm gonna harass him to get on the podcast now. We're going to review your book. Join us.
yeah, I wish. He
Is
would,
only
he would,
London still alive?
yeah, he's still alive.
I barely
He's
see those people anymore. Like my algorithm has gotten so fucking good.
um the last time I interacted with him, well, I say interact, I responded to a tweet that he said because he's like he's trying to because he's he's a what's the word what is it he he's a grifter.
Oh yeah.
So he will he
Oh
will
fuck,
latch on
ugly
to anything
bitch.
that makes him money. So at the minute he's latched on to being a
Yeah.
turf and being involved in getting involved in politics. So but
Oh, of course.
the
But
last
like
time I
his
interacted
like
with a post of his was like probably I want to say like probably 4 months ago. But
like yeah. I just want to say that like he constantly talks about how trans people are ugly and stuff. Like I don't
yeah,
look super femme today. I know because I wear literally no makeup right now. But even so, this is how I look without any makeup. Now go check out what he looks like
yeah,
with. Like
yeah,
this, whether you think I look femme or not, I look fucking odd.
yeah,
Like literally, I'm eye fucking myself right now.
yeah. We will cover All in London. We will cover his book in 2 weeks' time. And then we will cover All in London and the whole fucking mess that he is in that episode. Um, but believe me when I say it, he is a massive grifter. He will do
Yeah.
anything to make money. He would align himself with the fucking devil. And what I will
Oh yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah.
and what I will say is that
I wouldn't have it.
I am very, very, very surprised that he hasn't appeared on the mess with it. I'm very surprised because normally Grinner, his massive fucking potato head, will try and get people. Will try and get people. Right, so I'm surprised he hasn't been on there, but I suppose that he'll want paying. So
Glinda would be. I think Glinda would be too weirded out by not being the ugliest person in the conversation.
yeah,
Like he doesn't want
and
Ollie London there for that reason.
yeah,
Because yeah, Ollie London is actually uglier than Glinda.
yeah,
At least Glinda like looks not fake.
no,
Like he doesn't look like a bad mistake that someone tried to erase but did a poor job.
yeah, and this is not an attack on people who love to get lip filler or filler. This isn't an attack on you,
No,
but
definitely not. You can look beautiful with
he,
that, but he
yeah, but
doesn't.
yeah, he Ollie London has really, in my opinion, again, in my opinion, he's overly done it. He's overly done the injections massively
He
in
looks
his
like Boy
face.
George. No, not
What?
Boy George. I
What?
mean that other guy from Dead or Alive. That guy who died.
Oh yeah, him. What's his fucking name?
Exactly. What's his fucking name?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I always get him mixed up with Boy George, and I don't know
yeah.
why.
Listen, I would take Boy George any day over Ollie London. Ollie London. I'm just saying, right?
I I would take an AIDS-stricken raccoon in front of a little on. I would I would literally drink cyanide before I would spend 7 seconds in a room with him. But
Yeah.
then again, Ollie London, please come onto our pod. I do want to tell you to kill yourself in person.
I wonder if that's giving me a thought. I wonder. I mean, I reached out to him before, and he hasn't replied. I'll reach out to him again, and I'll just say, hey, listen. I'll
If you
say,
say we're reviewing your book, we want you to get a fair shake. If you want to, I would die for it. I will definitely start a conversation by just telling him to fuck off.
yeah,
You're not going to like if he jumps on. We're going to have fun. We're going
oh
to have a
yeah,
productive discussion. Like I am going to have a productive discussion. I don't care what he has. But you're not going to get nice Max. You're not going to get cool Max. You're
no,
going to get mean spirited fucking beehive Max. You're going to get wasp Max. You're
yeah,
going to get
yeah,
fucking set your house on fire and dive right in Max.
yeah.
I
So
really
yeah,
need to think that last one
um,
through.
so yeah, I'll
Like
reach
we're
out
going
to
to
him.
have fun.
Yeah, so I'll reach out to him again.
I'll reach
See
out
if
to you and
he,
I'll post that clip with it.
yeah, see if he responds.
I'll tell
Um,
no, yeah, yeah.
if not,
I'm
oh
joshing. I'm
well,
joshing. It would be
yeah.
great.
Oh yeah,
I really, I,
it'll be funny. Yeah.
I
But yeah,
wonder how these people would handle me in real life.
they probably wouldn't. They'll just probably run away.
Yeah, fucking run
Because
off a
that's what
fucking cliff, bitch.
because that's what they do online anyway. They'll say something to you that makes no fucking sense,
Yeah,
and they'll just run off. But it's like, oh well. But
yeah, they're
yeah,
really fucking boring.
yeah, they are.
I need
But
to
yeah,
start arguing with the conservatives again because at least that's funny. Anti-abortion people are the best because they never give up.
yeah, and they're always. And the thing is, and we'll dive into this more in next week's episode. But it's like they're all religious people, and it's like you do realize that you have your choices that you are free to make, and other people and everyone else has their own choices to make. You
Yeah,
don't get to govern other people just because you follow the church. Like
what
get
I
fucked.
love, what I love about anti-abortion people is that every single one of them are people that I would have wanted to be.
No, absolutely not. I would literally, I would literally hire a bus, have all of them go on the bus, right? And then what I would do, I would find a stick or a stone, right? I'll put it on, I would put it on the accelerator, sneak off, and I would just watch the bus drive off a cliff.
Yeah, like they are not people I want to procreate
No,
because they would probably do it
because
with their siblings. But
no, plus you know how, and plus you know how, the and also the church doesn't exactly have a good reputation when it comes to children. I'll just put it that way. Um, child abuse and
honestly,
all
I'd
that.
rather they fuck the fetuses than the kids. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah,
I did not expect myself to say that. I'm sorry.
like
I'm, so- I'm just sorry to like good taste at this point. Jesus fucking
yeah,
Christ, that was disgusting even for me.
yeah,
Not that I'm lying though. Oh, I need to
no,
show this to my boyfriend. How the fuck am I lying here? Oh, what?
but yeah,
But yeah, yeah. Fuck it.
but yeah,
Also, just quick note
yeah,
on the anti-abortion shit. So everyone who calls themselves pro-life and says that they want like abortion to be a last way out, you are all fucking cowards, and I hate you. I do not want it to be a last way out. I want it to be as much of a fuck it. Use it as a contraceptive. Who the fuck cares? If we say that it's not murder, then it's nothing, right? What
exactly,
you're doing is giving people guilt for no reason. You fucking coward. God damn it, I'm hot. And look, Jesus fucking Christ.
yeah,
So what I'm doing right now is that I'm arguing for abortion 6 months after birth. That's going hard mode.
yeah,
That's kind of what I've been doing now. Like I've given up. I've given up on ever trying to reach them. Now I'm just fucking with them. I said that
yeah,
actually to one of them. Like, oh, you believe we should be able to kill babies? And I'm like, yeah, up to 6 months after birth, I would still call it abortion. But I
yeah,
don't think you should hold other pro-abortion people against that because I'm clearly insane.
yeah. And the irony is with these people is that they don't seem to realize that you know abortion isn't just about aborting a fetus, right? It's
No,
also
it's about
abortion
kicking it
is
in the fucking head later.
yeah, abortion is also healthcare for the woman because she's
Yeah,
at risk. So what?
yeah.
So what would you want? Would you rather have a child, an unborn child, right, be born with potential disabilities, right, that could affect that child for the rest of his life? Would you
Also,
right? Would you rather
yeah.
have that unborn child be born with an incurable disease that could also affect that child's life and potentially reduce that child's life
Yeah.
massively,
And also,
and potentially risk the mother potentially dying? Or would you
oh yeah, they
rather
would definitely do that.
like what do you want? But oh no, you're all for when it
They want
comes
the
to
mother to die and the child to suffer.
yeah oh when it
Like
comes
because that's like the only way out.
yeah and when it
And
comes
like
to
that can happen if we abort them. But
yeah
here's my thing: change it up, make it not a
yeah
fetus. Because if 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 we were to say this, like Torin, I needed to be constantly undergoing a blood transfusion for 9 months. Let's say I needed that, and you agree to let me hook myself up to you for those 9 months. If you decided to say, "Hey, fuck this," by the way, I'm out after like 3 months, that wouldn't be murder. Yes, I would die as a result of it, but that wouldn't be
yeah
murder, and that would be your total right. We have never let any other being parasite off of another one without their permission. I don't know why that's so different with a fetus. Like, if Torin letting an actual human being die when he hooks me off wouldn't be wrong, and I genuinely don't think it would be, and I would be fine with that. Like, it is his body.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. If that's not wrong, then how the fuck can it be wrong to kill
exactly.
a like massive cells? That's not fucking murder. It's pest control.
Yeah, it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
I'm falling asleep as we're
yeah
speaking now. So yeah.
we will dive more into this next week and cover other bullshit that's happened, and then the week after we'll cover Oz London's gender fuckery madness, whatever it's called. Um, so yeah, that would be it. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening. If you watch us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Like if you've read the book, let us know
Yeah.
what you think. And I'll put all the relevant links down below. But we're gonna before I forget, like, we will see you next week. So let me
Yeah.
stop
Bye.
recording. Yes.